Hello, everybody. Mike Welch coming to you once again from Churchill Downs, where we were hopefully going to see the potential Derby favorite Omaha Beach work this morning. But as we warned yesterday, there was more rain yesterday afternoon into the evening and again into the morning quite a bit. So the track was just iffy enough where trainer Richard Mandela told Mike Smith to stay at home. Mike Smith was going to fly here to breeze Omaha Beach today. Instead, he called a little bit of an audible. He's going to push the work up one day to Saturday, and Julian Leperoux will actually fill in for Mike Smith during that work. But Omaha Beach was out this morning for the usual training session. We'll get to that in a minute. The racetrack started out sloppy today and was steadily upgraded as the weather cleared out, was good, officially good during the Oaks Derby session at 7:30, and then upgraded again to fast at 9 o'clock. And we did have two Oaks workers today, one at 7:30 over the good racetrack. That was Motion Emotion. Went kind of a maintenance half mile in 50 seconds flat, galloped out in 1:03 and 2. Was still some moisture in the racetrack at the time. But the track was pretty quick by the time Wayne Catalano sent out Leora at 9 o'clock to work a crisp 5/8 in 59 and 2. Was 34 and 4 to the top. Did it easily enough, though, and galloped out in 1:13 and 1, and she's part of a lot of speed that's signed on for the Oaks. We expect to see her forwardly place among others on Friday. The Oaks Derby session, most of the usual suspects we've been talking about here over the past week. We did get to see Win for the first time today. Shipped over from his Fair Hill base yesterday and was out. Looked good again. Looked good this morning. And I believe his final Derby work will come on Sunday, as will about 5 or 6 others. Once again, I said Omaha Beach was out today, had a regular gallop, and looking strong once again going into that work, which is eagerly anticipated here tomorrow. I thought Tacitus, once again, a good impression by my standards. Everyone we've seen working well has been continuing on that pace, and all these important works will come up here Saturday. There's 3 of them Saturday scheduled, 6, I believe, on Sunday, and then we'll probably see Steve Asmussen out there on Monday. The major Derby stuff happened around the country today. 3 works in Florida and 2 more at Santa Anita, plus Bellafina for the Oaks. Down in Florida, luckily I got to see the tapes of these works, was able to time these works off of the tapes. Although I took Todd Pletcher's times, he was kind enough to forward them up to us in the press box today. Spinoff went in company with Last Judgment, and Spinoff has been working very, very well, very steadily up there, but he needs company when he works. So Todd Pletcher put him in company with Last Judgment, who has won his last 2 starts and is a pretty good 3-year-old on his own. And I thought they were pretty evenly matched. They went 5/8 according to Todd in 1 minute and 3/5 and galloped out a full quarter mile, 13 and 3, 27 flat. And at the end, I believe Last Judgment, at least in my opinion, was slightly best of the team. Working outside, as we explained before, when you work outside at Palm Beach Downs, that's the deeper going, and he was able to stick his head in front at the end. But Spinoff still has had a good series of works leading up to the Derby. Cutting Humor, who has been going in company, went solo this morning. He's been working well up there. Last Judgment had been his regular workmate. Instead, Cutting Humor went solo, a half mile in 48. Finished up strong, though, 23 and 1 for the final quarter, according to Todd. Galloped out 1:01 flat, did it easily, and went out actually an additional quarter mile, 6 furlongs in 14 and 1. And unlike Spinoff, who had to be urged along to complete that final quarter into and around the turn, I thought Cutting Humor did it easily. And I like the way he's been training. I'm not sure if he's good enough to impact the top 3 spots in the Derby, but he's going to give his best coming off his victory in the Sunland Derby. Also at Palm Beach Downs today, where the weather was sunny and balmy down there, perfect conditions. Todd opting to stay back in Florida and made the most of that decision this morning. Vacoma also for George Weaver went 5 furlongs in company today. He was working on the outside of his workmate in the deeper part of the track, went 5/8 in 59 and 4 the time I got off the tape. Galloped out in 1:12 and 4, and Javier Castellano did fly in, and he was aboard Vacoma for that work. At Santa Anita, like I said, we had 2 Derby workers, 2 important Derby workers today for Bob Baffert and Bellafina for the Oaks. Roadster was the first of the Baffert horses to go. Went an official 6 furlongs. I got him in 114 flat, 101 to the wire. Did it relatively easily to the wire and then was asked out into the turn. I actually took him out 7/8. He won maybe 6.5 under pressure and then was easing up 7/8 and 128 and 1. And then he was followed a little while later by Game Winner, pretty much identical to the wire, 5/8 and 101. Maybe under a little more pressure to finish to the wire, but his out, when asked to finish, when roused, past the wire and into the turn, I thought Game Winner was the better of the two by far. He went out 6 furlongs in 13 and 3, and then eased up 7/8 in 127 and 2. Bellafina, an official 5 furlong work. I was only able to get the last half mile, 48 seconds flat. Just seemed to be cruising around all the way. Was allowed to drift out a little bit off the turn, coming into the stretch, and then just coasted home. Doesn't have the smoothest, prettiest action. I haven't seen a lot of her, but from looking at past works, that's pretty much what you get from her. I would have called this more or less a maintenance move today, and a big question maybe with Bellafina is whether she's going to get that 1.125 miles on Oaks Day. So a busy day around the country today, but it's going to get real busy here. The weather is supposed to cooperate now Saturday and Sunday, and like I said, 9 Derby workers here over the weekend, and then one last one on Monday. So the action's going to get hot and heavy, and we're going to be here hot and heavy with all of our reporting of the Kentucky Derby 2019. Keep it right here, DRF.com.